Don't you
I
find that
mean,
funny that Netanyahu came over here and called us Nazis for calling his bullshit out?
ceasefire's already broken in Palestine, Gaza, and then the unprecedented gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. Let's unpack this on this episode of the Patriots Table. I mean, Ravi, we guessed. I mean, it was no surprise that the ceasefire was
Yeah,
just going to
I think we called it
within
on the
days.
first show. Yeah,
Yeah, the moment they announced that there's a ceasefire, we're like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And then it's just pointing fingers at who did what, and it's all it's all kind of a joke. It looks like a bad like some kind of bad movie or TV show or
yeah,
something. Like this is what happens when you have people in power that have in my opinion, the emotional maturity of children.
right.
Because it's literally no different than a mom walking in. What are you guys doing? Well, he hit me first. I mean, that's what the stuff sounds like. You listen to BB and everybody, it's just everybody pointing fingers. There's nothing of substance actually going on. And then what it actually looks like is there's some more sinister bull crap going on down with it than anything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no one, if anyone believed that the ceasefire was going to hold, and even though we all wanted it to hold, I mean, they obviously also believe in Santa Claus. I mean, I mean, you just mentioned it. I mean, these people claim, like he started it, I started it. It doesn't matter because one side has this agenda. I mean, they have a set goal and they have not wavered from it. I mean, when Netanyahu was in New York, he didn't say, okay, yeah, we'll give up the idea of, annexing Palestine to Israel. He didn't say that. I mean, the entire goal is to annex Palestine into this greater Israel project. And if anybody doesn't understand this, then they have either not been watching what's going on, not paying attention to what's being said or done, and is in some kind of la la land, believing in some promised land to some people that they need to defend at all costs by killing everybody in their path to get there. I mean, that's utter bullshit. Okay, and I think we have a clip that we can kind of start off with, I guess, and then I mean, we had a clip of the last episode or the one before that as well. I mean, she explains things really well and in a concise manner that hits the right points. For people who still don't get it, that what is going on in Gaza is a land grab and no peace deal, no accord, no laying down of arms, no nothing is going to stop that. Okay, I mean that's the bottom line of it. Why it's happening is what we need to ask everybody, and like why it even needs to be happening is the question we need to ask. I mean, why do they need that? Right? I mean that's the question everybody should be asking, but nobody is because they all seem to think that Israel is justified in defending themselves at whatever cost, whoever they kill, whatever they destroy and demolish on the way, and then brag about it. It's sickening. I mean, I'm like at a point where I don't even have to like listen to anything else anymore because I already know what's going on in there. And there are still people who defend this nonsense. And that's to me is mind blowing. I mean, in fact, where's our guest who was going to squeeze us in today for, to come in and talk about this? Obviously, couldn't squeeze us in, but that's okay. Right? I mean, I never expected, that to happen, but we need that conversation. We need people to tell us and talk about it from a perspective of what Israel is doing and how right it is or how wrong it is under all circumstances. You cannot just go doing what you're doing and then whine later about the world hating you. The world is going to hate you. That's not going to change anymore because the whole world has seen what you're doing right now. Let's watch the clip. I mean, I think that
Absolutely.
makes it even clearer.
What we know, if you're smart enough to be paying attention and ignoring the ridiculous propaganda in American media, is that Israel just wants that land. At some point, if you're still, kind of wavering, you don't know what's going on, maybe Israel's telling the truth. They're not, they're lying to you. They're lying to all of us. They've been wanting that land. That's why the construction of illegal settlements had continued even under the Obama administration, even under the Biden administration, now under the Trump administration. 22 new illegal settlements in the West Bank, a separate territory from Gaza. But those Palestinian civilians don't matter. All those innocent people, all those children don't matter. They don't matter. They're not even providing an excuse for doing what they're doing in the West Bank. For me, what's currently transpiring in the West Bank is all the evidence you need for it to be abundantly clear that for Israel, this wasn't about Hamas, it wasn't about terrorists, it was about land theft and annexation for the Greater Israel Project, which I've talked about on this show before. That's what this is about. And to know that the United States government not only supports this, not only aids and abets it, but pours our limited, finite resources into making it happen, brings me so much shame, is so embarrassing. Everything that this country purports to stand for is complete and utter crap, because we don't stand for democracy and peace. We don't care about that at all, in our government at least. We're essentially aiding and abetting modern day Nazis. That's what the current Israeli government is.
Don't you
I
find that
mean,
funny that Netanyahu came over here and called us Nazis for calling his bullshit out? To me, that's
I mean,
ironic.
well, it's classic, and we've talked about this before. Like, we're in a narcissistic relationship with our government. So
Yeah,
what's a big staple of a narcissist? They're gonna accuse you of what they're doing, right?
right.
So
Yeah.
you got people like BBs like calling us Nazis. I mean, we've showed the clips where we're the woke Reich
Uh-huh.
and all this. I
Uh-huh.
mean, this all this stuff is so plain to see, and she put it pretty well. It's never been about Hamas. Because
No.
I'm telling you right now, if it was really about clearing out Hamas, getting them out of the tunnel network and everything going on in there, Israel has some pretty elite stuff. They wouldn't have to carpet bomb the entire city to
Right.
rubble to get
Yeah.
rid of Hamas. And that's just not how it works. And if you were really, really worried about your own hostages, again, you wouldn't need
Mhm.
to just carpet bomb everything to dust and rubble and then the
I
US
mean,
gets involved and talks about resorts and all this stuff. Like it's very plain to see what's going on here.
absolutely. It's like clear as, I mean, it's clear as daylight what's going on. And I think, to some degree, if you really think about it, right? So Hamas captures these hostages and they had dead bodies to hand over 2 years later. I mean, I have to say, I mean, like, when I look at some of the things that happened, I mean, even October 7th, the fact that they broke through the highest security fence to come in and carry out that, October 7th massacre and hostages and all that stuff. I mean, there were whistleblowers who said there was a stand down order from Israel. I mean, these two guys
Right.
are probably working somewhat together. I mean, terrorists don't have loyalties to anyone. I mean, let
Right.
me tell you that because, I came from a country where we fought them for 35 years, all right? I mean, they will go with the highest bidder. They don't have any kind of loyalty to to any particular race, religion, culture, whatever. What if there was, I mean, I'm just saying, what if there's some collusion there because, you help us get what we want, we'll help you get what you want kind of thing
Right.
going on. Because, I mean, some of the things don't make any sense
Right. Even what
that what they're
Hamas has
doing.
done hasn't made exactly a lot of sense. I mean, we talked about it on our last episode about, executing and all this stuff and, they were shooting citizens and yeah, we don't know exactly what was going on with that still. Like everything's still very wishy-washy on
You're
stuff. Like
right.
I haven't found anything really concrete, so I don't want to speak directly to it with any level of certainty. But I will say this: it was really interesting that if that was Hamas trying to reestablish some kind of law and order going on in there, Hamas and all these people haven't been shy about putting out stuff on social media stating what they were doing or the carnage and everything. I didn't see a lot from that. Oh, we're establishing law and order. These are gangs. These are this. I did see one thing talking about how gangs were trying to establish the control and dominance in certain areas of the Gaza Strip, which to me, again, doesn't make a lot of sense because the Gaza Strip is, again, rubble. Like, there's not a building left standing. What do you mean? They're trying to stake claim to certain destroyed blocks of
Piles of rubble.
nothingness.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. This isn't Brooklyn, New York, with the mafia trying to
Yeah.
establish dominance. So it just, that whole thing has been giving excuses for Israel. I mean, you had Trump openly threaten Hamas saying, "We'll come in there and put a stop to this if you don't stop." I'm like, really? That's all it takes? A couple pictures of 5, 6 people on their knees, execution style, and boom, we're ready to reignite another war in the Middle East, like these forever wars that just are unending, that we're just going to keep funding. It just, I don't know. It seems way too conveniently. It's just too
It's a
convenient.
stage. Yeah, it's a stage,
Yeah.
right? I mean, so we are just watching a stage, you know, come to life with all kinds of stuff. So Trump obviously didn't get involved in this peace deal because he has out of the goodness of his heart. I mean, obviously he got something out of it, right? So he's a businessman, he builds. So obviously there are some, dealings about, okay, you get us, get the Palestinians out, get us the land, you can build or whatever. I mean, like, so we need to get our foot in there as well because the US needs to have an excuse to go. I mean, just like the Israelis had made the October 7th attack as an excuse to go in and demolish the entire, you know, Gaza area. We need now an excuse to get in there. I mean, like, not just for maybe war. It's probably could go in as a peace, whatever, keeping force or something like that, and then make way or create the environment for the US to walk in there and do whatever that they're planning on doing, right? Now, as far as infighting, I mean, that happens. I mean, we saw it happen in Iraq as well. Like, we went in there and bombed Iraq to rubble, and then we started leaving, and then they started a civil war. I mean, like, always there are small fractions of armed people waiting in the sidelines. It's like, the lion makes the kill, and the hyenas wait in the shadows till the lion looks the other way to just grab something out of it. Right? I mean, that's the whole premise of that. So I don't necessarily disbelieve the fact that there were factions fighting inside of the rubble in Gaza. But for the next stage of the plan to go on, so I'm just sitting here wondering, like, why are the Palestinians are going back and they're getting attacked. I mean, the ceasefire has already been broken over 50 times, if I'm not mistaken, by Israel for whatever made up reason that they give you. So these people going back are going to face the same thing. So now there's going to be people who come out and say, like, why are you going back? I mean, stay away or just leave because you're constantly getting bombed. Nobody's asking, why don't somebody step in and stop the bombing and get the Israelis to move back from the illegal settlements, stop colonizing the Palestinian land, the West Bank area, go back to where you were originally, the land that was marked out, and do whatever the hell you want there.
Right.
That's not happening. Okay? That's not happening. And Trump was supposedly the savior who would come in and do all this, but obviously he's not either. Right? He's just playing along because he has something that he's getting out of all this.
Or he's not getting what he wants and he's literally just controlled that to that extent. I mean, I will say this. the right wants to talk about how the left has Trump derangement syndrome, and I think a lot of people in the right and the MAG movement have Trump denial syndrome.
Oh, of course, yes. It's the same
Nothing
thing.
nothing that guy can do
Mhm.
could be wrong. Trump could come out tomorrow and say that unicorns and rainbows comes flying out of his butt every time he has an idea, and people would go like, "Oh my gosh, it must have been
Yeah.
God's hand on Trump
Yeah.
that unicorns and rainbows comes out of his butt." Like it's so it doesn't matter what they say. And the one area where it could have actually been beneficial to the U.S. if Trump had a spine and actually stood up to Netanyahu and said, "No, we're not funding this. This needs to stop." Then you probably would have saw the MAGA be like, "Yeah, America first, no more wars. What we ran
Exactly.
on. He's fulfilling his campaign promises." But
Uh-huh.
no, we're going to send, since Trump's been in office, an additional $7.8 billion went to Israel, billions more to Ukraine. And
Uh-huh.
now what are we doing? We're sending another $20 billion to Argentina to bail out their economy as well. Like, when
I-
I genuinely want to know when the America First starts. Outside of letting ICE loose and kicking out illegals. Like, I'm not against getting
Uh-huh.
the immigrate everybody, even the left would admit that immigration in this country has been horrible. It's
Yeah.
been really bad, and something needs done about it. But if that's the only America First stance we're gonna take is kicking out illegals, again, that's not what I voted for.
No.
It's not. I
I voted for
didn't.
draining the swamp, not
Right.
jumping into the swamp and saying it's a swimming pool. I mean, that's what he's doing basically, right? I mean, so if you people like, in the MAGA movement, and, I voted for Trump 3 times. So, don't tell me that I'm, an anti-Trump guy. I'm not anti anything. I see what he's doing and I'm calling it out as bullshit because it is.
Right.
All right. So
Right.
like 2020 to 2024, everybody, from the left who could, Biden was in the best of his health. He was making great decisions. I mean, they obviously made crap up and try to prop up their, president. And everybody in the right laughed at them because you could plainly see that he was not in the best of health. He was wandering around the White House lost, couldn't even find the door to get in at times. I mean, there are videos floating around, couldn't string a sentence together, right? I mean,
I gotta say my favorite one, the best one I saw of you could tell he always had an earpiece in and people telling him what to do because he's entering the White House walking by the Marine and he goes, "Salute the Marine." Doesn't salute the Marine, just says it out loud and walks right by.
and then he
Like
gets
it
lost. I mean, like there's Secret Service
oh
people at every corner to prop him up and to go in the right direction, and he still got lost. But
uh,
still the left
I
said,
miss
"Oh,
it sometimes. It was funny. It was entertaining.
he was," and then we all laughed at the guys for saying that he was the best president. He's saying, but now we have the same people who laughed at Biden who are going the exact opposite and doing exactly
All
what the
right.
left did when he was in power.
Trump's not doing anything
Yeah, and
wrong.
I'm
He's
gonna tell you
great. Just
guys, I'm
cover your
sorry, but
eyes.
if I see something that needs to be said, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I mean, and if he switches around, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously by this time he's playing like 50D chess or whatever that happens. Okay,
50D
next year,
chess.
I'm telling you, they keep coming up with more and more
He's
ridiculous
communicating directly
excuses.
with God. He's on such a different plane of
Yeah,
existence.
I mean,
Like,
he's
it's,
not.
what are we
Come on, let's
doing?
face it, right? I mean, let's face it. He's not. I mean, his latest thing. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this yet or not, but that we have 2 senators in the entire Republican Party who are three, maybe two or three, who are completely honest, and they're speaking out against this stuff. And he goes out and then just
Trashes
tells
him.
us that these guys are morons. I mean, come on, right? They're not.
Massey and Paul, like in these, and I'll
Massey Paul
tell
and
you what.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? So all these
Yeah,
three are not tagging along with, not going along with everything Trump does, and they're speaking out because they have not taken money from the wrong people, and they're in a
right.
position to, be able to say what they have to say and say this is wrong, and everybody else just, tags along. I mean, we have how long has the government been shut down? I mean, it's at least been, Like so it's at least over 10 days
That's
now,
yeah.
and with
Yeah.
nothing in sight about any kind of
No.
compromise. People
They're
who
still
are on
getting
food
paid though.
stamps. Well, some people are getting paid, right? Some people are not. I mean, the entire like park staffs and everything. I mean, like they are at home, and the federal aid that goes to people who are unable to afford, even basic necessities as food, is coming to an end in a week or so. And here we are sending bombs, $1 million bombs to Israel to bomb civilians in Palestine. We're sending aid there. We're sending aid to Argentina. It makes no sense.
No.
And if you
And
don't
we
speak up about it, the
yeah.
politicians don't care. I mean, the more
No.
people that speak up, and I was just talking to somebody else who said, like, if 10% of the people stand up and say, "We see you, and we see what you're doing is bullshit,"
That's all it takes. That's
that's all
enough.
it takes. Okay,
That's
that's
it.
all it
It
takes. But no,
and
I mean, we are so so much. I mean, like people are cowards. I mean, they're just hiding behind a label. We are
right.
MAGA, so we can't do anything because then we look stupid. Well, you're looking stupider
Right. I
by,
mean,
by
I would say
supporting.
you're worse. I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and
they
say,
are.
I would say the MAGA movement and these MAGA patriots are actually worse because you have spent the better part of 12 years
Uh-huh.
saying that you know better. You are
Yeah.
doing the same exact things. And don't get me wrong, I do I know we had an Ohio senator say I was a tool of the progressive left, but I really, especially after seeing some of the crazy stuff at the No Kings protests going on, I was like, man, yeah, that's definitely not my people.
No,
Like there
no,
was
they're
some
not.
pretty crazy out of this world stuff going on at those protests. But anyway, like you claim to know better, but you're going
Uh-huh.
to turn around and use the same tools that the left has been using for a very long time because you don't want to look bad. You don't want your party to look bad. You don't want
Yeah.
your movement to look bad. Um,
Or your
I'm going to
favorite
go
presidents look bad or whatever. I
right.
mean, like,
Like it doesn't. No, guys, the truth is nonpartisan. The truth does
it
not
is.
take a side.
Yeah.
Period. The truth is the truth. Your moral center is what needs to be your compass throughout all of this, and that's what's going to keep the MAGA movement, the Republican Party, the American dream. That's what's going to keep that alive and real is keeping your moral compass and sticking to it. Period. I don't understand how you have so many people that claim to be awake to this. You got everybody who was awake to COVID and all this stuff. Like I was joking around on social media, like the whole trust the plan, Trump's playing chess, what was the other? Look at the bigger picture.
Oh
You know,
God, yeah.
all these things. I'm like that sounds. You know what that sounds to me? 2 weeks to flatten the curve and
Mm-hmm.
trust the science. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what the stuff says to me. And all these people, well, they're accomplishing more than any administration in history, so you just need to give them time. Like, no, I'm sorry.
No.
Just trusting the process, waiting and seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, the swamp is banking on the wait
Yeah.
and see people.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
while you wait and see, they're going to keep you blind and do
Uh-huh.
whatever they want behind closed doors. No, transparency and accountability needs to be the new standard for any administration on any side. Period. We can squabble over the best way to obtain these goals, but stuff like transparency and accountability should be non-negotiables on both sides. Period. It doesn't matter if it's your party's candidate that's in office or controlling the House or controlling the Senate. Period. And I think we've talked about this on the show. It's been a while, but I think it's a good time to say it. Just so everybody knows, the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, and even your state constitution isn't worth anything more than the toilet paper in your bathroom if there aren't people behind it to enforce it. The government won't enforce the
No.
Constitution. The people have to enforce the Constitution. It is the one document in our country that is a living, breathing document, and it only has teeth and only has power if the people stand up for it. And the people haven't been standing up for it for a very long time in this country, and look where we're at. The Patriot Act never would have happened. I'll
I
even go
know.
back and say the 1986 Act, if anybody knows what that is, wouldn't have
Yeah.
happened. There's so many things that wouldn't have. APAC would be registered under FARA if people, so that we had a sitting U.S. president lose his life for saying that APAC needed to register under FARA. Like there's things that has been going on for longer than majority of us have been alive that is only going on is because people are, well, we're going to wait around and see.
Yeah.
And that needs to stop. It needs to stop. That mindset needs to go right out the window, or we're not going to get anywhere in this country. Because you're talking about the swamp, we need to drain the swamp. No, what we're doing right now is we have a cup of water that people have been urinating in for decades, and we're just dumping sugar in it and saying, "Ah, look, it's good now. It's good now." No, no amount of sugar is going to remove the urine from that cup. We gotta get rid of the
Yeah.
garbage, and I think that needs to start with the Epstein's list. That nobody will that doesn't exist, does exist, but only partially exists, and everything else under the sun.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, the swamp is not even keeping us blind anymore. I mean, they're doing everything out in the open. I mean, they have gotten
Right.
so bold with people being so stupid is that they can now do stuff openly and then people will still buy it. I mean, it doesn't
Right.
matter which party you belong to, you're buying it. Right? I mean, they will go out there and say, like, oh, we got this going on for you, and you guys, it's all good, it's great, let's make America great. This Tom Massey and whoever are morons, they don't know what they're talking about, they're anti-MAGA. So like, so basically, like, people used to call us, like, anti-grandma, vaccine,
Anti-science
anti
and
this,
all
anti
of it.
that. I mean, like, just because you call me anti doesn't mean, like, anti-Semitic. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get called that a lot. I'm not anti-Semitic, nor am I pro-Hamas. I think they're both wrong in this whole situation, but neither one gets, a pat on the back for doing something a little better than the other. I mean, I think in this case, I'm going to go out there and say that Israel has done way more horrendous things
Right.
in Palestine than Hamas has ever even dreamed of. And then, there's proof of it. I mean, you just saw it in the video. I mean, you see that? Has Hamas bombed Israel, Tel Aviv to that level? No, they don't have the capability because we are behind the Zionist government. I mean, and Trump was, and that's the nice thing good thing about Trump I like, because he has a really short circuit between his brain and mouth. He'll tell you something that he's thinking about. He said how great our bombs were and they were doing their job. So basically, what he told me,
Right.
Mr. President, was that you send Israel bombs to kill women and children, and that
And he
is
even
not.
said he didn't even know what types of bombs, whether we could
Yeah,
have
he
sent
didn't even
nukes
know what
over there.
bombs.
And
Yeah,
it's
they were
just,
good.
BB wanted it, so I just sent it to him. I just sent it to you, BB.
Yeah.
It was so.
I mean, it's so funny. I mean, like, that this kind of stuff alone, like, people need to sit in a corner and analyze, like, what the hell is going on. I mean, is this what we are really supporting? I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your book says. You need to look at the facts in front of your face and say, is this what really matters? Is this what I'm supporting? And
Right.
then don't blame it on a terrorist organization that may or may not be in cahoots with the people who are doing the crimes. Okay, because
Right.
you cannot separate those guys as a single entity. I mean, they have allegiances with a lot of people, and they'll go with the highest bidder. That's been always the
Well,
case. Okay,
and we showed you guys on this show that the government of Israel is paying to propagandize in the church. They are paying to put a narrative to push a narrative in the church. Why is that? If it was the truth, why would they need to push anything? That
exactly, and
doesn't
on social media as
that
well.
doesn't make sense. That the social media, this geofencing, like, why does this need to happen if it's just the truth? And I'm gonna call out all the pastors involved in this, and there's even churches taking money from Israel on this stuff. Like, have you sold? Did you sell your soul? Because I can tell you right now, and I got into this with somebody online quite recently. If you are going to use if you're going to cherry pick certain things out of the book of like Revelations, that's like prophecy and stuff to justify what Israel's doing and then ignore the other 60, 70, 80% of that book that says, hey, don't kill, don't murder, we don't shed innocent blood. That's not okay. Like all the stuff, the very core fundamentals of Christianity and what they claim to stand on. If it's going against that, and your pastor's telling you that this is okay and we need to support, like, you should really be scratching your head and being like, "Whoa, wait! I thought we believed this. Jesus taught this."
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense at all. Like you don't even have to be a Christian to go, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Like they're weaponizing your own religious beliefs against you for political gain. Like
Yeah.
that should piss every Christian in America off that they're trying to use their own religion, twist it just for political gains. Like it's dark. They're that dark and twisted about it. If they weren't doing that, why are they funding it? Why are they paying for it? Why do they have to do all that? Why do they have to geofence and use targeted, unique campaign ads for you to get you to believe what they want you to believe?
Yeah.
Like this sounds
China.
like China. Like, well, there's movies and TV shows, I mean, about this kind of stuff that everybody goes, well, yeah, that would never happen in America. I would never
Yeah.
fall for this stuff. It's like, no, they've made it to where it looks like fantasy because it was in movies, and then they distract you and you can't see what's right in front of your face. And it's exactly what they're doing. I'm not going to I'm not going to be quiet about it or candy coated anymore with this stuff. Like I think you at this point where we're at, you either need to wake up and get on board or just accept the fact that you're. And I said it on social media as well. It's like, man, there's just sheep on both sides.
Yeah.
Like the people being awake now, they really don't care about parties anymore. Like the whole Trump and
No.
MAGA thing kind of destroyed the whole right and the party thing for a lot of these people who were awake for this stuff to where they don't even want associated with any of it, like at all. Like I don't want to associate it with the Republican Party because a lot of right now the Republican Party is cheering on funding genocide. Is
Yep.
cheering on stuff that was not America first. That and I'll admit it, I was duped. I think to a level you were duped too, Ravi. I mean, with what Trump was selling,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know, I bought a lot of it, hook, line, and sinker, and I'm like, man, I wore the MAGA hat to stuff, and I wore it proud with a lot of stuff too. I was really excited when Trump got reelected, and I to flow into our next point, I know even Charlie Kirk. I mean, Charlie Kirk put so much time and effort into getting Trump reelected, and I think was a big part in Trump's reelection. And, he was assassinated, and here it comes out. We got a judge who puts out a gag order for 3,000 people involved in this case. Like, what? That is,
Uh-huh.
correct me if I'm wrong, but that has never happened.
No.
That is
And no, it has never
unprecedented.
happened. And I checked this before we got on the show. I mean, that level of gag order was not. And I had somebody who told me on a post of mine that in high-profile murder cases that this is normal. And I actually checked that out, and that's not true. I mean, if you take the highest profile, most recently occurred assassination of a president, it would have been JFK. There were no 3,000 people gag order on that. Why is Charlie Kirk's murder more high profile than a sitting president? I mean, so this is the kind of BS that I have a really hard time, grasping, because the left, we know, always were party, defined, right? I mean, they didn't care who did what as long as it was a Democrat, they went along with it. The right, on the other hand, actually had some critical thinking skills that they used, when it was necessary. I mean, especially between the time 2020 and 2024, right? So they used it really well. I mean, there were people who stood side by side with us and fought the tyranny. I mean, like, we saw when it was coming, and we, did what we could to stop it, and we stood together and refused certain things. I mean, we didn't bow down to mandates and all this crap, right? And then all of a sudden, something happens to these people. So I think that is worse to me than anybody on the left. I mean, like, I can put up
Right.
with the people on the left because they've always been like that. Like, they will always call you names. They'll gaslight you. They'll support their person no matter what. I mean, there was a time, Trey, you remember when we were working on the medical freedom front at the State House, every single bill that was medical freedom related, the entire Democratic Party voted no. And this
Right.
went
No
on
matter what it
it's
was.
still going on, right? Yeah, every single time. I mean, if you look at the voting board, the Democrats voted no. And we expected them to do so, right?
Right.
I mean, that was the norm. And now here comes, it's our turn. And all of a sudden we have this, like the stinky algae bloom on Lake Erie. We all of a sudden have a pop up of all these, people who can't think for themselves, can't see what's in front of them. I really don't know what happened. I don't know if there was a COVID spike protein that made people stupid or something, but I mean, seriously, that's a possibility. I
Yeah.
mean, who knows? But that's what's going on. But so, even in the, Charlie Kirk case, right? So they have a person in custody, and obviously they want that person to get indicted and accused. I mean, like, the guy's parents now. I mean, so the whole story that we were told by the media is incorrect because the parents never turned him in, and they don't believe that Tyler actually carried out the assassination. So they know that as soon as this starts, this kind of stuff is going to come out, and what do? They put a gag order on. Now, if 10,000 people break this gag order, are they going to put all 10,000 in jail? I mean, Candace Owens has already said she's going to break it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering when that's gonna come out. I mean, I do want to read some interesting stuff in about this and the judge doing this. So give credit to the guy who put this information out there, Adam O'Sheen. So the gag order was issued by Judge Tony Graff. So it's more than 3,000 witnesses. Now, he was selected to preside over the Charlie Kirk assassination trial, and the judge he replaced, Robert Lunin, were both the subject of unique Google searches from Israeli IP addresses before the assassination. Neither was the subject of any searches in Utah after the assassination. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Judge Lunin retired on August 1st, and Judge Graff assumed his duties on August 4th. On or about the same day, Mahtab Saeed, the special agent in charge of the SLC FBI field office, was removed. Second point, Judge Robert Lunin retired on August 1st. He was replaced by Tony Graff when he was sworn in on August 1st. After Graff was appointed by Governor Spencer Cox on May 2nd, and also note here, Graff formerly worked as a special assistant to the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. So you have some close federal ties there in D.C. So just some like weird, like it's all weird. Like why is it that around these high profile things like this, like there's just stuff that's just fishy. It's never like you never get a warm fuzzy about this. It's always like, man, that doesn't make sense. Why is this person? Why is that person? I don't know if anybody's watched Tucker's new documentary 5-part series on 9/11 and the stuff there. Like it's like it looks like we're watching unfold the same thing that happened then with some shady people being involved in overseeing this stuff. And watch, it's going to be in 20 years there's going to be a documentary that comes out. Yeah, this person was stopping the information from this and silencing that, and nobody knew. And but it's just like you just can't help but feel like you're being duped again. Like
Oh,
the
I mean,
entire American population is being duped again. And then because we have a Trump administration in there, we're just supposed to accept it, not question. Like we're not even allowed to question it. That really is what pisses me off about in this specific area with people on the right. It's not like if you want to buy it, hook, line, and sinker, fine, whatever. That's your
yeah,
prerogative. You can do what you want. But when you tell me that I can't even question what's going on, like screw you. I can question whatever I want. We live in America. Like, and if you don't like it, go pound salt. Quit chasing me around and hounding me because I'm questioning things that don't make sense to me.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
People
like, and then also like don't people do this a lot. I mean, they'll come in like they'll tell you, well, it's normal. I mean, normal based on what? I mean,
Fox said it
where
was
else?
normal that week.
Yeah,
And I'm saying that's what it is, though.
yeah.
That's really what it is.
It's
Glenn
it's
Beck said it was normal.
it's crazy. I mean, like, there's nothing normal about that whole thing at all. I mean,
No,
from start to
from
finish.
start to finish.
Yeah. I mean, like, and if you're paying attention and making notes, you will see that that was clearly planned, executed, open and shut case that was carried out really well. I mean, to the detail of having like a guy, an old guy in the crowd, act like he was suspicious to give time away for the guy who actually did the crime to get away, and then find this other loser in the woods who managed to assemble a gun that takes several minutes in 30 seconds, you know, and write some really stupid text messages to his lover boy or whatever. I don't know what they call them. I mean, furries, cats, whatever. Uh, I mean, it's to me, it's hilarious that people just go along with this and say like, "Oh, everything sounds normal and it's legit." It's not. I mean, to me, it's like the most ridiculous case or argument that the media presented and the FBI presented. I mean, they look silly even bringing it out and saying it to people
Mhm.
that from the get go, right? I mean, we all know, and then Netanyahu calling, the first foreign leader to call and, talk about how he didn't do it. I mean, like everything it was wrong.
And how close they were. And
Yeah.
he was his best friend and everything. And then the texts get released from Candace and the whole thing. It blows my mind that you have so many people that are totally okay with the
Yeah.
story and the narrative on all of it, and again, don't question it. It's just like, oh, okay, yep, that sounds good. And you see this normalized. You have people like Tucker, Candace, even the Hodge twins, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massey, Rand Paul. Like there's a list going around of the woke Reich. Like this is, if you
Mm-hmm.
subscribing to these people, you're anti-Semitic, you're a
Yeah.
horrible FU, all these different things.
Yeah.
And it really blows my mind that's again the same tactics that you would see on the left. It's, oh, we can't rebuttal or defend ourselves. We just have to call you names. You're
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
anti-Semitic. You're the most recent I got for question. Just posing a question. I pose a question on social media, guys. Is the trade deal with the beef with Argentina America first? I got called an isolationist for posing a question. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's you immediately got to go to calling a name
Yeah. And then the people
because you
call me
can't.
rude, and I'll say this on on video. I cannot deal with stupid people anymore. I mean, if you're not observing, seeing things the way they are, and you're still, I mean, let's take a step back about the Charlie Kirk thing, right? So the Charlie Kirk thing, the people who are buying into the whole narrative of the government and that kid Tyler, did carried it out, and all the other nonsense that followed, are the same people who are also supporting the genocide in Palestine.
Hmm?
So this is a Israel first
Right.
movement. Don't call yourself MAGA. I mean, it's dumb. Don't expect me to be nice to you because you call yourself MAGA, making America great again, and you're going ahead and supporting everything that doesn't make America great again. It makes America look silly. It makes me, feel ashamed to be part of this whole thing. You're just subscribing to something that the entire world has seen and has deemed to be a genocide, right? Don't give me, definitions of it from whatever AI, chat GPT or whatever that you have. I don't care. I've seen it. All right. So
Oh,
it's absolutely crazy. And then, they'll holler and scream about us importing, 20,000 pounds of beef from Argentina. it's, it's, it's,
it,
it's,
again, yeah, you can't sit here. And again, I I have my opinion on the moral rights and wrongs of what's going on in the Middle East. I have my opinions on that. Those are my opinions. That's not what I'm saying we need to do in the Middle East. What I have said and been saying for a long time now is we shouldn't be in the Middle East and our money shouldn't be going there. If you want to think that Israel is all this and they're on the right and all this stuff, whatever, that's fine. If you are MAGA and you want this, and Ted Cruz was coming out recently and saying that, all the money we're sending over there is money well spent because we get Mossad intelligence, and for us to have our own intelligence out there, it would cost tens and tens of billions of dollars. Excuse me, I'm going to call bullshit on that because it's been proven that we've had CIA operatives and bases and safe houses operating in the Middle East since early 2000s. I believe even in the 90s.
yeah,
So what are you talking about? We don't have intelligence in the Middle East. You're full of shit. I'm so tired of this whole narrative of
yeah.
what we're getting from Israel.
We're getting
No,
nothing.
Israel has been sucking the
Uh-huh.
American people dry for decades.
Yeah. And they have
And
better health
it
care for
needs
that.
this they,
They have
they have
better
better
health care,
everything.
better social services, better,
Gosh, have you
yeah,
seen
everything.
pictures of Israel? Man, it's a stinking
Yeah.
utopia over there on how it looks. And you just go to the capital, to the capital of your state,
Uh-huh.
and it's literally like going into somebody's house and opening up that closet in the back room, and you go, oh my gosh, it looks this is where
Yeah.
everybody throws all the trash. It's like no. America's infrastructure, everything, like it is
It's falling
crumbling.
apart.
It's
Yeah.
falling apart, and
Yeah.
we're funding everything. That's why I get pissed off when I hear we're trying to send an additional $20 billion over into Argentina because we got to bail out their economy. Where's our freaking bailout?
Right.
Like, where's it
They
coming
don't
from
care. Right. I mean, they don't
It's
care.
it's 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 a joke. You cannot say you are MAGA and support money just being thrown willy-nilly in the billions to any country. I don't care what country it is. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's Israel. You should be just as appalled of it going all this money going to Israel as you would be if it was going to China
Uh-huh.
or Russia, because it's not America first. It's not make America great again. Period. It's make Israel great. It's make Argentina great. It's make all these other things great again. The only thing in a mass that Trump has been doing to make America great again is getting the illegals out that have been shipped in like crazy under the Biden administration by the
Yeah.
millions, the tens of millions. So that's just it doesn't add up, and I'm kind of a pros and cons person. Take the pros and weigh them against the cons. And right now, that con scale is leaning heavily to the side when it comes to what Trump has been doing in his
Uh-huh.
10 months in office. I mean, that's just
Yeah. I mean, especially in the last couple of months. I mean, I think he started off on the right foot. And then, I think the turning point for everything was the fact that he suddenly, decided to deny that the Epstein files, existed.
Right. One
I
of the
think that was
main things.
yeah.
And then the JFK files. Where's the classified JFK documents too? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
we didn't see that.
None of those
But
gained.
even Bobby was like, "Yep, we're gonna release it." Like that was like the main thing of Bobby Kennedy joining forces as Trump was going to do this. But then it's like, oh, let Bobby see him, and then it's like, oh yeah, guys, this is gonna make us look too bad, so we're not releasing it. Like
Yeah.
all the biggest of the campaign promises, the biggest of them.
And what's the common?
They're not
What do you
happening.
think? I mean, if you take a step back and look at the common denominator for both of those things, right? What comes to mind? Do we need three guesses for that, or is it okay?
No, I
Right? I
mean,
mean, JFK assassination, Epstein files. I mean, who's behind that? That's all you need to know. I mean, why they're not
right?
released, right?
Yeah.
I mean, JFK wanted to have the Israel lobby register. I mean, like next thing you know, he's got a bullet in his head. Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk decides to walk away from the Israel, pro-Israel stance that he had. Boom! Next thing you know, he's got a bullet in his neck.
48 hours.
Yeah,
48 hours.
I
Bam.
mean, this
Done.
is like this is the America you're living in right now. I mean, we thought that this was, the Wild West is gone. It's not. But now, who's holding the gun is not even anybody from this country. It's a foreign nation. That should
Right.
scare the hell
Right.
out of everybody.
Everybody thinks they just needed to get people like, Adam Schiff and all these career, Lindsey Graham and all the neocons and the really crazy Nancy Pelosi and the squad. Then everybody thinking that's the swamp. You have no
Yeah,
clue
you have no idea.
where the swamp is. You don't even know who it is. You don't know their names. It's like this stuff, and the swamp are the people that have the blackmail and hold the leash of all the people that you think are the swamp.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Yeah. And this, you saw this. I mean, like, those two instances alone should be able to open people's eyes. I mean, the fact that, we now know Epstein was somewhat of a, like aligned with the Mossad, right? So he's,
Whether he was aligned, I mean, he was confirmed. It's been
yeah,
confirmed that he was a CIA asset, but his girl, Ghislaine Maxwell, was confirmed has ties to Mossad.
yeah.
So, I mean,
So,
how much closer do you have to get to be like whether you're an actual Mossad asset officer, whatever, or you're literally in bed with it? You're
right.
literally in bed with it. Like you still have ties to it. Period. You can't
Absolutely.
get away from that. That cannot be denied.
And then Trump mentioned that he was going to bring Ghislaine Maxwell in front of the congressional committee, which never happened.
Yeah.
And then,
No.
next thing you know, in, one of his presidential pardons, I mean, I'm going to call this out right now. It's going to be for her. And she'll be shipped out to Israel where she can resume her duties with the Mossad. And talking about us getting information from Mossad, I mean, what the hell? I mean, they couldn't figure out that there were a couple of, Hamas terrorists breaking through the most secure wall barrier in their own
Right.
neighborhood.
I don't know
What
if we should
intel are they
really
going to give
trust them.
us? Right? That's
Hey, we were getting intel from, and Tucker pointed this out in his documentary. We were getting intel from Mossad prior to 9/11. Where did it pay off for us? The biggest terrorist attack to ever happen on U.S. soil, and that Mossad intel did jack squat. Well, they're claiming that we did. I mean, they did know. They did let us know. We ignored it and all this stuff. But still, if it's that valuable and that great, why didn't it prevent that from happening? Like it's just it's all a load of crap. You all they're saying is it provides us stuff, but they can never bring up anything of real tangible. There's no substance to it. You can't say, well, this is what they're giving us. See, this is what we're giving us. Point to this. This is what they're giving us. This is what's so good. No, it's all, well, we're getting intel from them. Oh, well, it's classified intel. It's not. Oh, how convenient. You
right,
know?
right. I mean,
Uh,
I don't know. I mean, I'm very disillusioned with the whole making America great. We're not going to make it great with the way I mean, we get our food from exported. I mean, from outside, right? I mean, nothing. I mean, like we're not growing stuff enough. for our country.
Where's the energy independence that we had from
Yeah, we
Trump's
don't have
first term?
that.
Why isn't that getting focused on and bringing that back and bringing the price down? Gas was supposed to be down, food was supposed to be down. Wages haven't come up to match the inflation. Like none of this stuff, the whole economy, this whole Trump economy that's supposed to be good, so great, isn't happening. It's not happening. It
Well, because
hasn't
we are
been happening.
focused on other things. We are focused on a foreign country and supporting a war that they're carrying out against, people with the intention of grabbing their land. I mean, that's what we're focused on right now. I mean, all our money is going there. I mean, again, we are stuck. The government is, shut down for weeks now, and no end in sight for opening it.
Right.
And
I mean,
people,
even if for played out, even if there's a legit reason and some logic behind importing some beef from Argentina because we're not getting as much from other countries because of the tariffs, we're not importing as much
yeah,
heads of cattle from Mexico because of some restrictions that went into place, so we're bringing in, I think it was like 70% less uh, just heads of cattle into the U.S. So I get that there are some legit reasons or even concerns, um, but after so long of throwing money, not paying people for stuff outside the country, we are literally taking giant wads of cash and throwing it outside of this country. It's a knee-jerk. It's literally a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we're gonna go do this with another country. Well, why? I'm gonna ask 50,000 questions. Why? Prove to me why this is good for America. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing how everything has to go outside of these borders. Why can't we be sufficient? Why can't we sustain ourselves?
like we
Okay.
did before,
Is
right?
it was what if was what is it, did we was it even looked at? I mean, Massey tweeted about it, how he has a bill that he proposed that would help the farmers in this country and we'd produce more beef in this country. Like, was that even explored before we decided to do this? Or is this the quick and easy route and a band-aid solution? We've been doing band-aid solutions in this country for well over 50 years.
It's
I'm
not
kind
even
of
a
tired of it.
band-aid. It's not even a band-aid solution. If you really look at the numbers, I mean, I just ran, a quick numbers thing in the back, to see if what they said even made sense. And they obviously lied, because one of the reasons, like you said, the price of beef has gone up is because of the tariffs. I mean, we import a lot of beef from like 7, 8 other countries, like, New Zealand, Australia, Mexico, Canada, Brazil, even Argentina. I mean, Argentina imports, exports beef to the US even now. So that could possibly be the reason why the prices have gone up. But I mean, the amount that they're trying to bring in now is not going to put a dent in that at all, right? I mean, like
Right.
13.7 million pounds of beef are consumed in the US annually, and they're bringing in 20,000 pounds from additionally. That's some kind of deal.
Right.
And that is because they're
And
getting
then we're
bailed out.
conveniently doubling the aid over
Yeah,
to them from 20 billion to 40 billion. So it doesn't make sense. It
right.
doesn't it's not doesn't seem like it's not America first.
No.
It's just not America first. You can't spin it and you want to, and this is where I say the Trump denial central comes in, because you even say that I pose a question on social media and people lose their minds over it. Well,
Yeah.
you got to look at the bigger picture. What bigger picture? Like you just said it. How is 20,000 pounds of beef going to put a dent in what we do? It's not.
It
It's
doesn't. It
just not.
doesn't.
It doesn't
No.
make sense. Why aren't we? I I, I would like answers to my questions,
I
and I
mean, even if
know
it's
and I know
20,000
a lot of
tons, but
people can't.
yeah, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I
Or
mean, even if it's
20,000 tons.
20,000 tons, it
It
doesn't put a
doesn't
dent,
it
right?
doesn't equal the
No.
the millions. Yes. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. And I'm asking these questions, and the thing is, I'm not really expecting. I know we're not going to find out the answer to this stuff because it's not good. I know it's not good. I know we're being lied to. I'm asking these questions to get people to think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, why is that? nah, you know what? This doesn't make sense. Because when you ask questions and that makes you think about it in a different way.
Yeah.
It makes you think about it. That's the first step in stepping out and getting away from the rat race of it all and being like, wait, you can start seeing stuff that doesn't make sense. Well, this isn't added up because I asked this question and it does not equal what they're
Yeah.
telling me.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. And if I have to guess, like what's going on with Argentina, I mean, they supply oil. So I'm
Mhm.
sure, since we're not energy independent yet, we're probably getting something in return. I mean, and so the fact again is like there's no transparency, right? So why not
Well,
tell people what the reason is? When a person who has done, you know, fifth grade mathematics can do the ratio and figure out that your 20,000 tons is not going to make a dent in 13.7 million pounds, right? That's not happening. So, I mean, people want to know why, and I think we
mhm.
mentioned this in a couple of other shows as well. The whole point and the whole reason why people make up stories and get into conspiracy mode is because they don't know the answers to simple questions that they have, and people have been lying to them. The media lies to
Yep.
you, the government lies to you, you know, politicians lies to you, everybody lies to you and has some other different agenda behind it. And this is why, people are coming up with their own theories, right or
Right.
wrong. And half the time, I mean, like, we saw during COVID, like most of the time the theories were right. And
Right.
eventually we figured out, right?
If
So
you don't want conspiracy theories anymore, bring the two things I said that needs to come back into our government: transparency and accountability.
that's
And
right.
just here's a conspiracy theory for you on the whole Argentina thing. I think it's really interesting that we choose Argentina when just under I think it's around 74% of China's beef imports come from Argentina? Or is Trump making a play to try and get in there and mess with China? I don't know. Is it are we trying to butter up? Are we trying are we is he trying to play chess with the Chinese
Oh
economy?
God, now we have 51 D chess then.
Yeah,
We're gonna make
51. It could be
50.
51. 51 D chess, he's trying to ruin the Chinese economy. We're buying the government of Argentina's loyalty.
You
They're
might be
gonna
right. Who knows?
I, but like you said, there's no transparency. We don't
Yes.
know, so we get to just
Make up stuff.
theorize and stuff that
Yeah.
makes sense, and that's the danger of not getting the truth. But maybe we'll get some questions. I do want to leave people on a bit of a cliffhanger. I will say our next episode next week might be one of the biggest episodes we've had on this podcast. We're gonna get some firsthand information that hasn't really been talked about when it comes to the Israel and Gaza situation from somebody who has firsthand knowledge of the situation. So I'm actually really excited about our next episode. And geez, we're already at past the hour, Robbie. So appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next one.
All right, guys. Take care.